But Joe, like he gave him all the praise and this, that, and other. But then he just went in, and that's who was like, I'm better than you. He was like,
I've been better than you for the last decade.
For the last decade,
I'm better than you.
He said, I'm a content nigga. He said, you just be rapping about shit. He said, so, you know.
Joe said he's better than him?
Joe said, yes.
He said, I've been better than you for the last decade.
He talked a lot, bro. Like, and he kept saying it over and over, and especially towards the end, he was like, I'm better than you. You don't want these problems. He said, you don't want these problems.
Do you think this is enough to bring Joe out of retirement?
Nope. No, he already said it. He said he won't get out of bed for this.
Yeah. But he said if what did he say? If M makes a whole song about him, he said something like that. What did he say?
I mean, to the certain extent, if M makes a song, he's coming out. M make a whole 3-minute song dissing Joe. I think Joe.
Oh, do you guys think it's coming? Because that man talked about Eminem for an hour and 25 minutes.
He did.
So what was he saying?
Oh, you didn't watch it?
Oh my God!
It's actually pretty juicy.
Yes, very.
It is.
Yeah.
Like he broke down the whole Slaughterhouse thing.
Yeah.
That Crooked I responded to. He broke all that down, basically saying that M was basically the reason why they failed. Basically saying
that's what Joe Budden.
That's what Joe Budden is saying this, and as Joe Budden said, in Joe's mind, you know, this is how he's seeing things. So there were just some things that were not happening during that arrangement that he thought should happen, like tour.
Yep.
Eminem doing a verse with them, and he said the response that he got when he inquired about those was that Eminem's a megastar. He doesn't do that. And Joe's like, what? Right. So if we're
give Nicki a verse, but you won't give
and we're like, we're your artist, and you're trying to put us on.
Right.
Like, why are you not trying to help put us on?
Right.
Like, this is a whole new light for us. He said they would turn in songs. The songs would come back different than what they gave him. And you know, they said they were trying to work with it, that whole poppy sound that everybody criticized them about. They said that was all him. Yep. He said they were not used to that. They were not used to handing their stuff off and then coming back.
And after they released that album, what was the one we reviewed?
Welcome to Our House.
Yeah, they was like saying pretty much, we don't really need him. We can go back to our sound, because if you listen to their first album before they signed with Shady, sounds a whole lot better than that one that was on Shady Records.
We kind of said that when we reviewed
it.
You know what I'm saying? That it sounds like they were deviating from the sound, and it didn't feel like it was them to the core.
You could tell it was the machine.
Exactly.
And that's what that was. It was the machine. And you know, it didn't work.
And sometimes, you know, outside looking in, we never know who really signs off on these things, right? Like, we don't know if it was Slaughterhouse saying, yeah, we want this poppy sound, right? Like,
they agreed to it.
Yeah.
And then they were defending it. That was the thing.
Right.
That's why we didn't know what was going on.
Right.
Like, Crooked was getting pissed off if you said anything about it.
Right.
And they were all like, no, this is what we wanted to do. So we didn't know. But I think deep down, we did still know.
And then, isn't that the album where they dropped the mixtape before the album?
Yep.
They did that both times.
Yep.
Just to kind of let you know, like what was really going on. But Joe, like he gave him all the praise and this, that, and other. But then he just went in, and that's who was like, I'm better than you. He was like,
I've been better than you for the last decade.
For the last decade,
I'm better than you.
He said, I'm a content nigga. He said, you just be rapping about shit. And he kept saying it over and over, and especially towards the end, he was like, I'm better than you. You don't want these problems. He said, you don't want these problems. He said, so I want you to respond.
If you make a song, like, be ready. Like, he was like, be ready, because I'm coming if you make a song.
Oh, really?
You don't want, you don't want these problems.
You will not fare well.
You will not fare well. You don't want these problems.
And I kind of believe him.
Yeah, Joe is that level of lyricist.
And he's not lying. He has been better than
for the last decade, yes.
He's not lying. I mean, I don't think that anything he said was a lie, except for the part about, you know, I'm a content nigga and you haven't given us any content. Right. But then if you go back, and don't ask me why I was doing this, but when I heard that, I was like, I could swear he said the opposite before. If you go back and watch what he said on an academic show, what was it called?
Everyday Struggle?
Everyday Struggle. He said on there that M always has great content. And I like the content, but I don't like the songs. So wait a minute now. So you said before that he has great content. Now you're saying that he doesn't have great content. So it's like, which one is it? M has been trying too hard to make content instead of concentrating on rapping. So that's where I was like, I don't really know what Joe's talking about there.
And I wondered when he said it, was he talking about like Kamikaze and just the way he was rapping real aggressive and fast, and sometimes people can get caught up in that.
Yeah.
That's the criticism that people have with Busta Rhymes. They were like, oh, Busta Rhymes be rapping fast, but he don't be saying shit. So it sounded to me like he was trying to pull that out in case he did get into a beef, so people don't get caught up in what and how M is rapping, and instead of what M is saying.
He's kind of setting it up.
He said that. That's exactly what he said. He said if something else happens, you guys are gonna judge it based on how it sounds versus what's being said. He says that in the fucking hour and a half long fucking discussion.
Because I was with you. I was like, wait a minute. Eminem's problem is that it's exactly how you said. He's trying to make content. He's trying to make these pop albums. He's trying to make an album. He's not out there rapping the rappity rap thing that everybody wants. That's what people want from him. And Eminem is going against the grain from that because one of his biggest selling albums was Recovery, you know, and it worked for him. So he tried to go back to that formula.
What he said about how like M have like all these artists that you're not even like kind of like promoting or putting on, like, cause you know he signed Griselda, Westside Gunn and them, and it's like these guys put out albums and mixtapes and like you're not even like featured on it, you're not even like help promoting it. Yeah. It kind of makes it seem like M is not really business savvy when it comes to running shit.
Yeah, and we could say that for like since forever. Outside of 50, like who has he really put on like that?
And
because
then 50
remember
really need him.
Stat Quo
was oh my god! Like I wanted Stat Quo. Bobby Creekwater.
He signed Obi Trice.
Yep, Obi Trice had
he had a whole bunch of them that just didn't. And it's like, dog, like it ain't that hard. A feature, a project, a couple videos.
The only one that's still eating, I feel like, is Yellow Wolf.
Yep.
And that's just because Yellow Wolf has a completely different audience.
Exactly.
Yep.
He don't need M.
He don't really need M at this point. But M's not doing shit for Yellow Wolf either.
No, he's not.
No.
If M was gonna do Kamikaze, all those Griselda dudes should have been on the shit.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
Yellow Wolf should have been on the shit.
Yes.
Like
it's another
anybody.
the other guy he that was on Roy's joint. I think Boogie or something like that.
Boogie.
He was dope. He's on Shady. Like,
and he's not on the album.
like this Kamikaze would have been a perfect way to put. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be a raw hip hop shit. Throw Westside Gunn on there.
And he could. And M could have took off some of those questionable tracks that we were talking about, and put Griselda on them joints. Put all of these other guys that you got on there that's some real spitters, and get them some shine. Because at the end of the day, M's album is the platform.
But do you think M just doesn't want to do that because he doesn't want to get outshined?
I don't think those guys could outshine him. I think they just compliment him.
I think
they could outshine him.
Westside Gunn?
I think he could outshine him. I'm not gonna say he's gonna do some crazy rapidy rap shit, but what I'm saying is, I feel like he could put out a song where you might be like, oh damn. I mean, M was rapping, but I fuck with Westside Gunn's verse more.
Or Conway.
Conway probably could.
Man, can you hear that like on some Dirty Alchemist shit?
I could. I've been waiting on it.
Conway would fucking. And then you be like, damn, what Eminem gonna do with this shit? Like,
there may be some validity to what Joe is saying about him using them as a muse, like to keep him inspired. You
Sounds
know,
like it.
Yeah, like it's possible.
But how he says that?
But he said it. Like,
you
bro,
gotta watch
he
it, man.
he
You
laid
gotta
out
watch
the
it.
timeline of
you
everything.
gotta watch that shit.
And then that's when he brought back in what B was saying about Griselda. It was like, yo, like I'm telling you about us, right? He said, because I lived it. He was like, but what about the people that's not me, right? What about the non-Slaughterhouse dude? And then he went to Griselda. He was like, look at them. Look what happened to them. He said they were moving without him. They signed to M, shut down.
Yep.
I didn't even know they were signed to Shady.
Me neither. I didn't know that.
I didn't know until I think the review we did.
Has he even made an official statement that they're signed to? That's crazy, man.
The only one I knew about was Boogie. That was it. I didn't know they were with him.
Well, you figure you sign to Shady, you sign to M, that opens you up to everything, right? Like all of these producers, it should open you up to Eminem features or even direction. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, let me, you know what I'm saying? You should do this, you should do that, and not this crazy poppy sound, because obviously you can't do that with them.
But he tried it with Slaughterhouse.
He tried it with Slaughterhouse. You know, but I don't know, man. It's very interesting. But you were saying that Joe was saying that M signs these guys for his muse and to keep him inspired. Then how does he drop Revival? How does that happen?
They weren't there yet.
They weren't there yet. I don't think they were there yet.
I don't think they were there yet. I think when he dropped Revival, there was no one really around but Royce.
Right.
And I just don't think Royce is going to say anything at this point. Yeah. I think Royce is just at that point where he's just like, look, if he's going to do it, he's going to do it. It's not my business. Right. You know? Maybe Crook felt the same way. I don't know. I mean, I really can't, this is no disrespect to any of them, but I really can't see any of them sitting around jamming Revival.
Hell no.
This shit's hot. I don't see it.
Hell no.
Now, Budden responds. How do you think this is gonna go for M? Do you think M has a chance to really come out on top in a battle with Budden?
Yeah, he has a chance. He definitely has a chance because obviously he's a bigger artist, right? And what Joe already kind of put out there, people are gonna listen to how he's saying it versus what he's saying, and I think that's gonna could give M a little bit of an edge. But if we're gonna go bar for bar, I think that this will probably be the only guy that M has stepped to in like a major way that can hang with him bar for bar like that, and maybe outshine him on a couple of those bars.
Joe got some stands too.
He do, but he ain't got Eminem stands.
I know he's not on Eminem level, true, but I don't know, man. I was thinking about that the whole time he was talking about it. Like, what can Joe? What like?
But here's the thing, right?
Rap, what can you say? Like, how are you?
But no. What do you mean?
He was a lot.
Exactly. Yeah, he could. He was in the mix.
Exactly. Because what were we saying about MGK and his diss? He didn't expose shit.
Exactly.
Joe got shit.
Because Joe was signed to the label. He was in those offices.
Mm-hmm.
And don't forget, remember what he's at the beginning of that podcast? There's already a song. There's already a song recorded.
I don't even remember him saying that.
He said he started writing.
No, he didn't. He played a snippet.
Oh, I didn't get that far. I saw it in the beginning when he said I just started writing. He said I heard the beat and I just started writing. He said automatically just started writing.
Nah, unless I misunderstood.
I do remember him saying that.
Yeah.
Part.
Unless I misunderstood. He plays a snippet of a song, and he says this was supposed to be a diss track. And he says, but then I thought about it and I said, I can't diss my boss.
I think he did. I think he did say.
Yeah.
Wait. I think he did say that.
Yeah.
Wait, we're not talking about Slaughterhouse? It was something else.
No, it was something else that never came out. He said it was never released.
Oh, this is something old.
No. Apparently he recorded this after they recorded the Slaughterhouse album. So apparently Joe was upset because they were fucking with the songs. So he got pissed off, and he said that they were cutting him from the songs.
Yeah, they was cutting his verses from the song.
So he recorded what it sounded to me was a diss track. He said this was supposed to be a diss track, and he said he was mad because he said he inspired a lot of the emo sound of the songs, but then M was taking him off the song.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was a crazy allegation. Well, I don't know if it's not an allegation.
See, imagine if all that was in a song, like all that shit that Joe exposed.
Right.
Imagine if it was in a song. That would have been mind blowing.
So do you think that Joe should wait for M to make a whole song, or you think Joe should just
I think
go out
Joe
there?
should have not done that fucking podcast and
Just
drop this. If you're gonna come out of retirement for somebody, what better somebody than Eminem?
1000%.
Right.
I like the approach though. I somewhat feel you, but I like the way he kind of set it up. He was like, yeah, I'm gonna go out here, I'm gonna do what I do. This is my, I'm retired, this is my platform. I'm gonna expose all of this.
But if he come with some shit,
he's challenging him. He's calling him out.
He's calling him out.
He's calling him out.
And if he like, look, if he come with the song,
does M take the bait? Nah,
I don't think he's gonna take it.
You don't think he wants that smoke, or he just doesn't want the bait?
I think that M was mad at the time, and I think maybe once he settles down, he got it off his chest. And I think maybe once he settles down, he might realize that this might not be a good road.
Can't reply to MGK and not reply to Joe Budden.
He's gonna reply to both of them in one song.
I can see that.
That's what he's gonna do.
Even after Joe said, if you give me a full song, then I might think about.
Yeah, he's not gonna give him a full song. He's gonna be like, well, I didn't really break the rules, so you can't really come out.
Yeah, he's gonna try to be slick.
Like, he might give him like about 3, 4, or 5 bars, probably.
Right.
You know.
But do we criticize M if he does that?
Yeah, I would.
I wouldn't.
Nah, I wouldn't, because it's all fair. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to attack another rapper on a whole song. Right. You can give him some bars and give him some work, and
even if that rapper say, look, just I dare you to come at me on the whole song.
At that point, then Budden's being a bitch.
What you mean?
If M comes back and gives him 7 bars,
a verse.
If he splits a song up, one verse is for MGK, one verse is for Budden, and Budden still doesn't say anything, then I'm gonna start to feel like you're being kind of a punk.
What if it's a 3-minute verse?
That's how M's been doing lately.
What if it's like a 1-minute verse for MGK and a 3-minute verse for Joe
Like the
Budden?
length of a song, basically.
Which is what he said. Give me a 3-minute song. Then then maybe. But for me, it depends on the verse. Like if he really go at Joe and I'm like, God damn. Then I'm like, okay, nah, nigga, you gotta respond to that shit. It's like, I think like Eminem's response is a response to Joe Budden. So Joe went at his album and was like, all right, fine. This is what I'm gonna say. Get that. So now, it's tick for tat now. So Joe comes back on the podcast He was like, okay, I'm gonna come back at what you said, and I'm gonna double down on that shit. So now Eminem's got to be like, okay, I see you. And now he got to reply back.
Nah, at that point, I think M should be like, all right, you're a bitch and you're scared.
No, he
That's
got
what I would do. If I record 2 full shits about you, and you're still like, no, it's not a whole song.
You're talking
You
about,
don't wanna rap.
You're talking
You
about
don't wanna rap.
the response.
Oh, the
I'm talking
response.
about
If
like
the
right
response
now
is
with
good.
nothing.
Oh, right
Yeah,
now.
right now with nothing. I think M
Oh, I get
has
you.
to say something.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Now, if he records a response and it's lengthy, like it's a dope ass verse, and he spends some time focused on Joe, and Joe don't respond, then that's on you, Joe.
Okay, I'm with you.
That's on you, Joe. You can't let him do you like that.